when the Surgeon General made this announcement, why wasn't the mainstream media covering it? Why wasn't there, every major broadcast station out there covering it? And there's a reason why they weren't covering it. And I'm going to tell you what the reason is. That instead of covering that, this is what they covered. This came out today on ABC. Social distancing measures may be necessary until 2022 to contain coronavirus pandemic, a study shows. This is what they're talking about. Yet what the Surgeon General has said, and the fact that Trump had decided he was going to fund the WHO and then pulled that back, and that the issue was the WHO, the Centers for Disease Control, and Bill Gates' agenda, the Surgeon General has basically said that they've got the real data, they're going to be looking at it. Why didn't the media talk about that? Why didn't they cover that? Because there is such a thing as fake media, and these I don't even know how they can call themselves journalists, because there's absolutely no sentiment whatsoever about having integrity. The hack job that they're doing, this is another one. Posting anti-vaccine propaganda on social media could become criminal offense. This is the type of stuff that they're trying to create. This is the type of propaganda that they're pushing. And this is the reason that we have to become aware and know what the agenda is. Now, this information, this misinformation that's out there, this misinformation propaganda, the diversion, the distraction, preventing you from knowing the truth. Why would the media do this? And then people say, well, this is conspiratorial. This is conspiratorial. This is all this garbage out there. And Dr. Pitar, you're just on the part of the conspiratorial propaganda component, and you're just hearing stuff. And, if it was true, the whole world would know about it. Well, I'm going to share something with you right now, and I want everybody to go and watch this, okay? It's called outofshadows.org. Go there and watch that movie. It's about an hour-and-a-half long movie. Out of Shadows, out, O-U-T, off, O-F, shadows, SHADOWS.org. And you will understand who controls the media, who controls Hollywood. And they go on, they explain some other things at the end, but this is about how the media and how some of the intelligence community have been together for over 60 years programming our minds, desensitizing us. Watch the documentary, and then you tell me what's going on. Then you'll know what the agenda is. But this is the misinformation, distraction, diversion tactics from taking the real information that's empowering and trying to scare more people, to try to make you paralyzed by trying to take away your power, your autonomy. Now, why would anybody do this? What could be the hidden agenda? Well, the hidden agenda is right here, guys. This is what the hidden agenda is. And I'm going to show a video here in a second. But this came out in a recent interview where what Gates said, that they don't want recovered people because there's an issue with that. It basically, the bottom line is the dollars. They won't end up getting the number of RF chips and the number of mandated vaccines and the number of basically sheeple that they want. And so that they basically have said that, according to Gates in this interview, that he and his colleagues don't want a lot of recovered people who have acquired natural immunity. Instead, they are hoping that the human race becomes reliant upon vaccines and antiviral medication. Now, it's so interesting to me that, we're talking about the United States here, but there's a world community that's getting this information. So this is applicable to every human being on the planet. Okay, we all are sovereign. We all have our own autonomy. Yet, it seems, and we all have a certain knowledge base, no matter what our expertise are, but the scientific community and the medical community, they're basic fundamental components that they know, they understand. There's certain principles of science. It seems like, with this pandemic, every person with scientific knowledge and medical know-how, medical knowledge, have just picked it up and thrown it out into a trash can and completely discarded every fundamental aspect of physiology that they've known and recognized and they've been trained on. It's like they've totally ignored it. I don't understand that. I for the life of me, I'm still trying to understand why all of a sudden every logical sequential thought process in your mind has just been discarded. Everything that you've learned over the years has just been literally discarded and said, you know what, I'm going to forget about every physiological principle that I've learned, every scientific theorem that I've learned, every basic, this is like the ABCs, okay? In trauma, we do ABC, airway, breathing, circulation. When you lose your mind, when you can't think, when everything's hitting the fan and you're just panicked and you don't know what to do, you go back to the basics, you go back to the ABCs. Here in this case, with this pandemic, this supposed pandemic, every A, B, and C has been discarded. Every fundamental understanding of how the body works has been totally thrown off. right there. You can see Trump standing behind him. I don't care whether you're pro-Trump or anti-Trump. That's not what this is about. I don't care whether you're pro-Biden, anti-Biden. I don't care whether you believe in the Queen of England or not. That has nothing to do with any of this. There are those that are fighting for us, and there are those that have an agenda. Fauci, Gates, and these other people within that realm, the WHO, the World Health Organization, the Centers for Disease Control, they do not have our best interest in mind. They have never had our best interest in mind. And all you have to do is open your eyes and look at the history and what they've done. Their agenda is subversive. Their agenda is to oppress. Their agenda is to control. Their agenda is not to allow humanity to evolve to the next level. Everything that's happening right now is part and parcel of the next phase of growth. We are having a very difficult time right now. Yes, it's chaotic. Yes, it's painful. Yes, people are scared. Yes, people have all these constraints financially, emotionally, but look what they're doing. They're trying to keep us hidden in our houses, saying, don't come out. Nobody can come out. There's a snarling pack of dogs out there called the COVID-19. And if you come out, you're going to promote it. You're going to extend it. You're going to make more people sick. And I'm telling you that you open that door, you're going to find, there's not even a poodle out there. It's a tape recording of a dog's barking. It's completely lies upon lies upon lies. These people that have died from COVID-19, they've died from other conditions. And if they did have COVID-19, maybe COVID-19 has done some damage. Okay, we know it's a highly virulent strain, but it has not killed hundreds of thousands of people. They're altering tests. They're altering the death certificates. They can't justify what they've done with this pandemic situation, so they're trying to not create more deaths to justify it. They're trying to keep you hidden in your houses so you can't go out to the hospitals and see that nothing's going on. Or if there's something going on, it's minimal. Hospitals are slower. Doctors and nurses have been told to go home in most places. And yes, New York has been hit hard, but you know what it's been hit hard from? Not from the damn virus. It's other stuff. There's things that are going on right now that doctors are talking about, the doctors that are ICU doctors, ER doctors are calling me and telling me that this doesn't seem like it's a viral issue. It seems like an altitude sickness issue. It's a hypoxic injury issue. There's something else going on. Yes, there is something else going on. It is not the COVID-19. I will tell you what's going on. This is actually watch part 4 that was censored. Part 4 tells you what's going on. And if I say it, this is going to flag on all the social media channels and they'll take the video off. So I'm not going to say that here, but it's something to do. It ends with a letter. I'll just say that. It's 2 things. It's a number and a letter. I think most of you can figure out what I'm talking about. And it's not saying that that's causing COVID-19. Please don't make foolish comments like that. No, this technology does not cause COVID-19. COVID-19 is something that's there. But this energetic component causes a disruption in your cells, causes a disruption in your physiology. It adjusts and disrupts the voltage-gated calcium channels and allows for efflux of calcium into the cells. There's also something that's going on with the hemoglobin iron component within the blood, and it's causing this hypoxic type injury. We already know from over 2,000 studies that it causes cancer. It's an oncogenic process. Cancers in the heart, which is a very rare type of cancer, cancers of the adrenal system, cancers of the brain, neurological cancers, other type of neurological implications. They've all been established. Almost 2,000 scientists and doctors have signed a petition against this technology. Just go and watch the videos on COVID-19. Follow the links at askdrbuttar.com/ask. You'll see all the information that you need there. And please do not forget, go to outofshadows.org and watch that movie, and then you'll understand what the agenda is. And don't forget, no more. That's the new hashtag. Put it out there. Put your story in there that no more, you're not going to tolerate this. There are people out there that are talking about it. It doesn't make any sense. They want to do something. Guys, let's get organized. If there's thousands of people in each city that come out there and it's in a social gathering, you're sitting at a park, you're enjoying life, what are they going to do? They're going to send out the National Guard to arrest us all? This is preposterous. We have to show that this is a bunch of BS. The Surgeon General already came out and said by mid-May, no later than June, we're going to be back in doing work. And I think it can happen right now. In fact, my office is still open and has been open because we're a medical office and they can't justify closing us down. However, for ABC then to come out and say 2022, misinformation, there's a misinformation campaign. So guys, pay it forward, pass it on, and hold in your heart love and gratitude for being alive at this time in history, because 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, our children and our grandchildren will remember that our parents stood up to this tyranny, this atrocity that was committed against mankind. If they are allowed to continue the way they're going, and we've got only a short window, if they're allowed, we're all going to be chipped just like cattle. and we're all going to be forced to take vaccines. And that is never going to happen. I can tell you that if that comes down the pipeline, this doctor will not be alive anymore, because I'll take out as many of the bastards as I can with me, but I will not be alive. And there are many of the people that served with me in the military that are of the same like-mindedness. If you are law enforcement, if you are military, if you're retired or you're active, it doesn't make any difference. When you click on that form, askdrbuttar.com/ask, make sure you indicate what your history is in there. If you're an attorney, if you're you can volunteer in any aspect to help get more awareness, more organization. I need you to do that. But I can tell you right now that for every law enforcement and military, retired or active duty, remember the oath that you took to protect and defend the U.S. Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Remember that word, domestic. Highlight that word, domestic. And remember that if you take off your uniform, you're just like somebody else. And remember the orders that you're going to be given, they're going to be illegal orders. And it is a crime to follow an illegal order. And there's enough of you out there that are already standing in together, shoulder together, in unison, ready to take action and prevent whatever is going to end up happening. What I'm asking you to do is remember that whoever you're ordered to take down or take out or do whatever you're going to be ordered to do, remember that if you had no uniform on, you would be the same thing as that person. Remember that your obligation is to protect those and serve those that can't protect themselves, not to being part of that change that the world's waiting for, and continue to make the change the world's waiting for. I appreciate your time. I will be back on Monday night. Part 6 is coming. AskDrButtar.com/ask. Go there. The resources are there. Join me and join the other tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands. The video that I released on Tuesday morning at 1 o'clock, less than 36 hours ago, apparently has been seen by over 2 million people now. Pass this on. Let people know. The more people that realize and recognize the truth, the more people that realize, hey, I'm not the only one who's thinking this way, the stronger we become. And then nobody can make us victims. Nobody can take advantage of us, because once you have the knowledge, once you have the ability to understand, then you have the power. And with knowledge comes power. With power comes autonomy. And the one beautiful thing is when you're powerful and when you're autonomous, you can no longer be a victim. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.